There was a time, not so long ago, when just hearing the name Manchester United struck fear into opponents. Now, those echoes sound more like memories than threats. But wait, something's changed. Bruno curls one in from 25 yards. Ahmad dances through defenders like shadows. Kobbie glides across midfield like silk on grass. Suddenly, the pieces don't just look new, they look alive. But let's not fool ourselves. For all the sparks, Manchester United have been burned before. Last season wasn't a stumble, it was a collapse. 15th in the Premier League, the worst finish in the club's modern history. No trophies, no direction, no unity. Just confusion, disillusionment and ghosts of what once was. The storm will come and we will be found out in some games. That's not your typical pep talk from a new coach. But maybe that's exactly what United needed. No more PR spin, no more pretending, because the first step to rebuilding something broken is to admit it's broken. The badge had become heavy not because of its weight, but because of what it had stopped meaning. United were no longer feared, no longer respected, no longer united. And that's where this story begins. Not with dreams, but with dirt. With a team staring at rock bottom and choosing to climb. Because after years of drifting, Manchester United finally made a decision. They chose fire. They chose ruthlessness. They chose Ruben Amorim. There is a moment in every collapse where the rot becomes visible. At Manchester United, that moment wasn't subtle. It was televised. No European football, the lowest goal difference in 35 years, and a squad visibly divided, tactically, emotionally, spiritually. This wasn't just a team losing games, it was a team that no longer knew what it was trying to be. That final whistle in May 2025 didn't end a season, it ended an era. And that's when Sir Jim Ratcliffe finally acted, not with panic, but with precision. No more patchwork managers, no more commercial signings. United didn't need a star, they needed a system. And so they turned to the architect behind one of Europe's most tactically flexible teams. Ruben Amorim, 36 years old, minimal ego, maximum clarity. You don't teach a team how to win, Amorim once said. You teach them how not to lose. Within 2 weeks of his appointment, changes rippled across Carrington. Training intensity ramped up. Every drill had positional discipline. GPS tracking is used to monitor not just distance, but purpose. Tactical meetings lasted 3x longer and made sense. It feels different, like we finally have a plan again. Amorim wasn't trying to fix United, he was redesigning them, from scratch. He implemented a 3-4-3 that morphed into a 4-box midfield in possession. Wing-backs became creators, centre-backs stepped into midfield. The chaos had rules again. Ineos didn't just hire one mind, they built a cabinet of clarity with roles defined and visions aligned. Wilcox restructured scouting. Barada rebuilt the wage structure, Brailsford brought Olympic-level training science to weekly loads. This wasn't evolution, it was a footballing revolution, dressed in structure, not slogans. We don't chase stars, we build systems that create them. There's a quiet but fundamental transformation happening at Manchester United. They no longer play football just to hope. They play to control, to dominate, to lead. And at the centre of this shift are two names, Bruno Fernandes and Leny Yoro. After a chaotic 2024/25 season where he carried too much on his shoulders, Bruno looked like a man in decline. But under Amorim, he no longer has to do it all. He's now structured, protected, and liberated. Bruno doesn't run all over the pitch aimlessly anymore. Now, he moves within defined zones, supported by a youthful but solid midfield duo, Kobbie Mainoo and Mason Mount. In a modified 3-4-3 system, Bruno operates as an interior playmaker, a right-sided number 8 who creates, connects and presses with intent. What's most remarkable, Bruno is doing less, but he's more dangerous than ever. So far this season, he leads the Premier League in clear-cut chances created after match week 6, ahead of stars like Odegaard and De Bruyne. And it's not just about Bruno's talent, it's about the system. In Amorim's setup, Bruno isn't responsible for leading the press. He simply waits, and when the ball comes, he responds with the intelligence and daring of someone who knows the Premier League better than anyone else in the squad. One of United's biggest nightmares over the past 3 years has been their defence. Shaky, slow, and especially vulnerable under high pressure. Leny Yoro, just 19 years old, is turning out to be the most unexpected solution. The young Frenchman doesn't just defend well, he brings a rare calmness and authority for someone his age. His partnership with Lisandro Martinez is perfectly balanced. Yoro reads the game and builds play. Licha tackles, presses and marks. Yoro's ball-playing ability is crucial in United's flexible back three shape. When Dalot or Malaysia push high and wide, Yoro often shifts right to cover. No panic, no blind clearances, he controls the game like a midfielder. After the first 6 matches of the Premier League season, Yoro ranks second among all defenders in pass accuracy, 92%, and leads the entire league in successful ball recoveries in the defensive third. Manchester United is no longer a one-man show team, reliant on individual brilliance. Now, every movement Bruno makes is preconditioned by Mount and Mainu. Every recovery Yoro makes is the trigger for a counter-attack. Every forward run by wingbacks like Dalot or Malacia is meant to stretch, control and convert. They may not be perfect yet, but one thing is clear. This version of Manchester United is evolving, quietly, structurally and with steadfast intent. Let's be honest, Manchester United fans have been sold hope too many times before. Every summer comes with slogans, signings and promises of a new era. And every season ends with frustration, memes and the same painful questions. But this time, it feels different. Not because of one big signing, not because of viral training clips, but because of the process. This is the first time in years that Manchester United's decisions, from the boardroom to the training pitch, seem to align. There's a footballing identity being defined. There's a plan being followed. And there are young leaders like Bruno Fernandes and Leny Yoro driving it forward. It won't be perfect, it won't be instant. But for once, United fans have something they've been missing for a long time: clarity, direction and belief. Because if this project holds firm, if Ratcliffe stays the course, if Amorim is given the time, then this team, young, brave and finally learning how to play as one, might just be the most dangerous version of Manchester United we've seen since the Ferguson era. What do you think? Is this finally the start of something real for Manchester United? Drop your thoughts below, and if you believe this rebuild deserves patience, give this video a like so more fans see the full picture.